It was cracking, everybody. So I put out that video last night. It had been on my Patreon, and I had planned on waiting to release it to YouTube, but last night I felt like I didn't want to sit on it. And so this morning, when I woke up, my granddaughter's here, only got like 3 hours sleep. But I noticed, I read through the comments, and I saw NorCal. Saw your comment, and you already know I commented back, but I feel like I could speak it better than write it, because I'm not really, that whole typing thing is not my thing. But anyways, NorCal, always respectful, was just saying that he had read through the bill. It took him about 10 minutes, and that I was probably going off of what QAnon or another conservative type site or media outlet was saying, and that's not the case. But because somebody called and then hung up. But anyways, because I don't want to be misleading, I had to go ahead and make sure I was being responsible, especially when NorCal pointed out, hey, you should check it out, and he's right. So what I did is I went to the LA Times, right, which is a liberal paper, and I saw what they had to say. And so to me, it seems like, yeah, while it is supposedly to help the LGBTQ community, it seems like it was one of those bills that's more pandering, right? Initially, with that, because how many crimes are being enforced? Oh, they're gay, charge them with a crime. Come on, man, that's pandering, right? But within the pandering, they left that 10-year thing, and that's where the problem is. Now, I quoted in my response to NorCal, but I'm going to read it. And this is Assemblywoman, Democrat Assemblywoman Lorena Gonzalez, right? On August 30th, on the Assembly floor, this is what she said in opposition as a Democratic Assemblywoman, her opposition against the bill. She says, I cannot, in my mind as a mother, understand how sex between a 24-year-old and a 14-year-old could ever be consensual. How could it ever not be a registerable offense? I challenge everybody. Give me a situation where a 24-year-old had sex with a 14-year-old, any kind of sex, and it wasn't predatory. That's it. That's the bottom line. So, like I said in my response to NorCal, what R. Kelly was doing, what R. Kelly is known for, is okay with this. With this bill, it's okay. A 24-year-old, a 26-year-old, a 28-year-old, a 27-year-old can convince, well, the 28-year-old, because it will be 28 and 18, that they're both adults, but a 25-year-old or a 24-year-old targeting a 14 or a 15-year-old kid, sweet talking them into having sex, can turn around and say, hey, it was consensual, and be okay. It can't be okay. There's the term jailbait for a reason. You target kids, you're going to jail. It's a sex crime. That right there. So again, it was all fluffery as far as the majority of why they put it. The bill was to help the gay community. I want to know how many. Is there an epidemic where they're targeting gay relationships? No, I've never heard of that, ever. It would be in the news. The majority of mainstream media is liberal. Imagine if that was a problem, it would be all over. This was a bill pandering to a community that's not being affected by something, right? But in it, they have this thing where it makes it consensual. It makes it okay. That tenure thing has got to be taken out of how. I mean, I don't. Again, you know, and yeah, both sides of the aisle, there's some fucking sexual predators, right? So any sexual predators, that's out, right? And but there were and there are Democrats in the assembly that were against Newsom passing this thing. And so I did what I believe was my due diligence when NorCal pointed out that he read it and that I should read it. I read it, and I stand my ground on it. It ain't okay. Who out there is okay with what R. Kelly was doing when he married Aaliyah? When we found out he married Aaliyah, like that, that's chomo shit. It is still gonna be chomo shit. A 26-year-old, a 27-year-old should not be dating a fucking 16, 17-year-old kid. Period. Kids are very impressionable, you know. They throw, you know, their little tantrums and mad at their parents, and I'm gonna go do this and that. Next thing you know, they're shacked up with a grown-ass man, and the parents can't step in. The law can't step in because the kid can say it's consensual. This is my boyfriend. And that kid needs to be worried about school, not sleeping with a fucking grown-ass man. So this one's gonna go straight to YouTube. I apologize to my Patreons, but I feel this is I had to put this out. I had to read up on it because I spoke up on it, and when I was called on it, I had to make sure, because if I was wrong, I definitely would have took the video down and said I was wrong. But in this, I feel I'm right. I feel it was some fluffery by Gavin Newsom again to act like he's protecting a class that isn't even being targeted by what this bill is supposedly protecting, but within it, allowing to where someone can do this weirdo shit and not be a crime and not be a registrable offense. That's not cool. It's not. And I have no problems sticking to my guns on that. And I think if everyone were to read the bill as NorCal did, and as he had me do, they would feel the same way. Why was that in there? Why is that in there? And what was the point of the legislation when it's not a class that's being charged with crimes? This is just political pandering. But I know it is political pandering that is wrong, and that's just gonna bite that governor in the ass. And you reap what you sow. One of his own aides even said that should have been left out. It should have been written in a way where it protects that class that is not being targeted. I don't get why but hey, it's politics. So with that said, I'm gonna go ahead and close this one out here. I am really trying to put out more content, guys. But it's hard, you know, with work, and I work 2 jobs. I got a lot of stuff going on around the property that I'm managing. Matter of fact, I think my next video might be on an incident that occurred here at the property when I was doing my managerial duties. So that might be my next one. All right, with that, man, I'm out.